So good evening everyone. Hope you all are doing great. Sanjana this side. So today is the third day of our this program, FDP, on Foundation Model and LLMS. So for today's section, we are dedicated to welcome Professor Mohit Tiwari sir, Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Bharatiya Vidyapati College of Engineering, Delhi. Professor Mohit sir brings over 2 decades of rich experience in software development, IT infrastructure, cybersecurity, and engineering education. A distinguished academician and a mentor. He is known for his hands-on approach to teaching and for bringing the gap between the classroom and real-world applications. His area of expertise including cloud computing, data analytics, Linux administration, ethics hacking, and AI-based security system. Tiwari sir has monitored numbers of innovative student projects and leading initiatives in cybersecurity training, academic innovation, and interdisciplinary collaboration. Sorry for the interpretation. And I think for today's, and I'm wondering the section is going to be blow your minds. And without any further delays, I would like to request sir to start the session. आपका बहुत स्वागत है तिवारी sir. And I hope that we had a great session today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for this warm welcome. I just reached home from my college, but the energy is up, so don't worry about that. And I hope everyone is doing fine today. And good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Before we begin, I would like to quickly understand the room so I can tailor the sessions here better. If you can respond in the chat with just one word: student, research, scholar, or faculty. I would just like to know. Thank you so much, Arun sir. So perfect. That gives me a clear picture. Thank you so much, Sindhuji. Before beginning, one more quick question. Again, only one word in the chat. What takes you more time for you right now? Finding papers or making sense of them? All right, no issues. We will go and try and fix this today. Today's session is not about replacing research with AI. It's about reducing the mechanical effort so you can spend more time on thinking, analysis, and contribution. I will be pausing at regular points, and I will also ask you to respond in the chat occasionally. So please stay active, and we will warm up as we go. So let me proceed and let me share my presentation. It looks very long, but I will try and make it as interactive as possible. So with your warm welcome, I will now start my session, and just give me a moment to share my PPT. All right, so can anybody acknowledge if the PPT is visible? Yes, sir. All right, thank you so much. So we will do this, and once again, good evening, everyone. This session focuses, as I told you, session focuses on how artificial intelligence can be practically applied to research, data analysis, and literature reviews. The emphasis is on improving the efficiency and rigor while maintaining academic integrity and research control. I will just make it slideshow so that you can see it more clearly. Is it fine now for everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, what does this mean? This orientation sets the foundation for the session. We'll align expectations and understand why AI has become relevant in modern academic research workflows. Now, this is the session overview. In this session, we will examine AI tools for research tasks, accelerated literature reviews, and complete research workflow support from problem formulation to publication. Now, why AI in research? Now, this is a very trendy question, a very important question today. That's why I've given 2 slides for this. Now, everybody today is experiencing that there is a global shift towards AI-enabled research practices due to the increasing complexity and scale of the academic work across disciplines. And the modern research requires processing, it requires processing vast information that humans alone cannot manage it. Universities, institutions, journals, labs, they are now all integrating AI for the improvement in their research outputs. Obviously, AI boosts your productivity and it assists in the tasks which are generally repetitive so that the researchers can focus on the analysis part and the creativity part. Humans will be always one step ahead in this. So that's why AI can be a good, it can assist in the tasks which are mundane tasks or the repetitive tasks, which can hamper a researcher's focus. So here AI will help you to, making these tasks a bit easier one. Now this shift is not optional anymore. Institutions, journals, and funding bodies, they increasingly expect systematic, evidence-driven research supported by advanced tools. As you can see here, this diagram shows that there are some specific applications of AI in research, in pattern recognition, in health, in behavioral research, in social sciences, in automation. It's everywhere. So that's why it's becoming a very important part of our lives. Now the volume of the research publications has exploded and it has increased exponentially, making it difficult for the researchers to stay updated using traditional manual approaches. Alright, so now there are also some challenges as well. Traditional literature reviews rely heavily on manual searching, reading and synthesis, which is slow and difficult to scale. So that's one issue which we are generally, it's a time-consuming approach. There is a bias from the reviewers and there is an inconsistency in the reviewers as well. Human interpretation can vary, which can affect the quality of the review as well. The evidence is very fragmented, difficult to merge different methods, populations and findings into a coherent singular narrative. Now, these are few challenges which we all as researchers, we face every day. Now, you will think whether all published research is equally reliable. What do you think? is every research which is published is equally reliable or not? The major challenge today is separating the strong evidence from weak or low quality studies. So here AI can be an accelerator, a research accelerator, by reducing the time spent on mechanical research tasks like scanning hundreds of papers in seconds, drastically reducing the search time. The tools which are driven by AI can summarize methods, results, and themes without reading line by line. And AI uncovers connections and trends which are not immediately visible to the human readers, but can be a big help and a big boost in this. So now AI as a research accelerator, it can help in a way. This diagram shows one very good example where AI can help as a research booster. By scanning large volumes of literature quickly, AI will enable faster discovery of relevant studies and emerging patterns. Now, there are few ethical considerations as well. Despite the benefits, AI must be used ethically, and I am a big advocate of this. Researchers remain responsible for the verification, interpretation, and the originality of their research papers or the research items. AI outputs should always be cross-checked before academic use. This I always tell my students and the people whom I work with and collaborate with. This is a support tool, not a tool to back on actually, but just to take the support and help from this. Research reasoning must still come from the scholar or the researcher. Now here the human factor should always be there. We should not rely totally on the AI part, the reasoning part, the creativity part, the research part actually should come from the scholar. And researchers, while publishing the papers or while making their papers available to the general public or uploading on open access platforms, they should always disclose where AI was used in their workflow. This is an ethical condition. Now, most of the journals, they are actually asking for these kinds of disclosures from the researchers. So moving on to the next part, which is the accuracy and the hallucination risks. Now, AI may generate incorrect facts or citations. Understanding this limitation is very critical for the responsible academic use. Now, it may generate false facts or interpretations if you are not checking it. The claims generated by AI tools should be validated with the original source as well. Sometimes when I'm working also, I have faced that the AI, whatever AI platform I'm using, I use multiple AI platforms. The validation, sometimes it's missing from the AI platforms. So we should always validate it with the original sources. Sometimes the DOI is wrong. Sometimes the web link is wrong. Sometimes the general name is not properly written and things like that. So the awareness of hallucinations, it helps the researchers to use AI responsibly and safely. Now again, I will emphasize on this and a good diagram that I have acquired from the internet, where you can detect where and how you can detect the hallucinations of AI. So you can do a manual fact checking, you can use automated tools, you can use even AI solutions. That is a irony for this actually. So AI solutions checking the AI hallucination risk, and the risk assessment should be done by evaluation, tool effectiveness, and assess the misinformation risk. that can be done manually or automatically. There are so many tools available for using these kinds of checks. So these risks are there in AI. So now by the end of this session, participants or the research scholar or my fellow colleague, fellow researchers will understand how to use AI tools for literature review, data analysis, how to analyze the data sets, and academic writing more effectively. So let's start with one of a very important tool which is known as Elicit. So Elicit is, we will now move on into AI-driven literature review workflows, beginning with Elicit, a widely used AI research assistant. So it's very famous and a very effective one. I have used it a few times. So what is actually Elicit? So Elicit in short is a AI-powered research assistant that helps discover, summarize and extract insights from academic papers. So it automates the part of the literature review process which in a few years back which was manual. Now it's reducing the manual reading time. I generally take reviews of the projects done by the students and I focus my attention on the literature review process where they have studied few papers and then now they are comparing their research gaps with their current project. So here if you use a tool named Elicit, it will really lessen your burden on this literature review process. And generally researchers use it to quickly understand what existing studies say about a topic. So you can compare your current research publication with the existing studies, the older ones or the newer ones. This can really make a difference in your research publications as well. Now, how actually Elicit works? Now, Elicit works using a concept known as semantic search. Now, semantic search is the meaning rather than the keywords. So, for example, if you are finding a paper, like my field is cybersecurity, so if you are finding a paper on cybersecurity, it will focus on the meaning of the words rather than the keywords that you are using. So it will extract the key information is required by the researchers such as methods, results, limitations of that research and themes from the study. Now it will create structured summaries which will help the researchers to compare the paper efficiently. Now what is a good research question according to this? How should you, now Elicit works beautifully, but we should know how to ask the questions from Elicit. Now a well-defined research question guides this tool towards meaningful insights instead of generic outputs. Clear and specific questions should be there. If I'm searching about cybersecurity, the question or the input should be very clear, very specific, that I am looking for cybersecurity papers which are related to firewalls ranging from year 2020 to 2025. Now, this can be a specific question. If you use questions like find me papers about cybersecurity. Now, do we agree? Is this a particular or specific input that will help Elicit? I don't think so that Elicit will give you more accurate and relevant papers if you use these kinds of ambiguous or these kinds of questions which are, not very specific. Now, a well-defined research question will guide the tool, as I already told you. Now, strong questions also make it easier to build structured themes and the arguments. That is always a good part to ask on the elicit tool. Now, elicit will generate concise summaries, helping the researchers understand key findings without reading every paper in full. Now these summaries are like this. This is a full screen tool. This is how LSAT works. Now these summaries support faster screening and comparison of studies during the initial review stage. I will give you a few seconds to see how these tools are, or you can see which findings you can see. We have given some inputs in this where you can see all what have elicit has done. So I will take just a 2-second pause here and you can see these tools. If you want, you can click a picture. I will share the slides as well. Or you can take a screenshot of this. That will be all helpful for you. Okay. Now moving on to the methodology extraction in elicit. What actually this means. Now this slide or this PPT, this part explains methodology extraction in elicit. The tool automatically identifies the research design, sample size, data collection methods and analysis techniques also, so that researchers can understand how each study was conducted at a glance. So it will compare it supports the comparison across studies in a structured manner. Next part is the theme identification part. This is a very good part of elicit. Here, the tool elicit groups recurring concepts and patterns across multiple papers. These themes show what the literature consistently discusses and later form the structure of the literature review sections. Now, finding gaps in literature. Now, students generally struggle in this part of literature review. Now here elicit can be a very big help. It highlights areas that are unexplored. Just if you can see the diagram also, just select a question that motivates you, then find keywords and related terms to a selected topic. Look for topics or issues that are missing or not addressed within or related to a main topic and read the systematic reviews. So this supports the strong problem statements and it focuses on gap identification by comparing themes and findings. Elicit highlights unexplored areas, helping the researchers identify opportunities for new and meaningful contributions. Next is a very good part of elicit, which is known as evidence table generation. Now here it is a very repetitive task, so researchers they struggle a lot sometimes on this part of the literature review. Now here elicit can be a very big help. It organizes the extracted information into structured evidence tables. These tables allow easy comparison of methods, results and limitations across studies, supporting the systematic synthesis. Now a big challenge which we researchers generally face is the limitations and the bias handling. Elicit also helps how elicit can capture reported limitations such as sample bias or methodological flaws, ensuring a balanced and critical literature review. This is again a very good feature of elicit. Now we can see a mini review here. Here we see a mini literature review workflow. findings and methodologies are automatically summarized. Now this continuation slide will show you how mini review of elicit can be used. Now this continuation slide visually demonstrates how elicit presents findings and themes in a structured format, significantly reducing the review time while maintaining the rigor. Before sharing the other tool, I hope everyone is getting how we can use these tools. We will be discussing few tools also related to AI. So I hope everyone is getting this and it's helpful for them. So this I have taken the screenshot and you can also take the screenshot or you can save this slide or you can take a picture. Now we have asked this RQ. RQ stands for research question, where how does artificial intelligence impact research productivity? These are the findings and these are the themes. This we can also use. Now, with everyone's consent, let's move on to the next overview, which is known as consensus. Now, this slide will be introducing consensus as another AI tool, which is focused specifically on evidence-based answers derived from the peer-reviewed research. Another approach to getting evidence-based answers. Let's see one by one how this is working. Now, what is consensus AI? Consensus AI retrieves scientifically verified answers rather than opinions. It allows the researchers to quickly assess factual accuracy and scientific agreement. So if you can see this slide, it says that researchers use it to quickly check the factual accuracy and scientific consensus, and it also gives you scientifically verified information rather than the opinions or generic explanations. Moving on to the more about consensus, where a very fine feature of consensus, which is known as source-backed answers. Now, what does this mean? So, every answer which is generated by consensus is accompanied by citations, direct citations. This ensures the transparency of the answer and allows the researchers to verify claims directly from the original studies. So, the bias part is significantly reduced as we are comparing the AI generated information from the original source as well. Now, there are few indicators in this, in consensus AI. It provides confidence level and strength of evidence indicators, which helps the researchers to judge how reliable and well supported a finding is. It also gives you another feature, which is known as contradictory evidence detection. Now, here sometimes we come to a point where the results of the papers are contradictory. So this slide explains how consensus identify conflicting studies, allowing the researchers to understand the debates and disagreements within a field. Now, if you see a visual here, this is known as contradictory evidence detection. If you can see my cursor, this is on the lowest evidence. This is just like a pyramid, where on the lowest evidence, the development is with small sample size data. There is no external validation. There is no clinical validation. Now, moving upwards, now there is a medium sample size data, there is one external validation, and there is no clinical validation. Now we'll move a bit up further, where development is with large, diverse and high quality data, external validation with data from clinical trials or public databases. There is a clinical evaluation, but this is an early life clinical evaluation. Now if we move on the top of this pyramid, The development is with large, diverse, and high quality data. The external validation with prospective, multi-center, real-world data, real-time data, and the clinical validation is also done with it. So this is known as contradictory event detection. Now this can be easily done with consensus AI. And now how does this do this? Consensus ranks claim based on the quality and quantity of supporting studies, helping the researchers prioritize stronger, well-replicated findings. Now, one more thing which consensus can do is synthesizing insights across papers. Now, this slide shows how consensus synthesizes findings from multiple studies into concise explanations, saving time during theory building and review writing. Another one more good feature which I particularly like is known as argument building. Now this can identify the strong evidence that can support the key arguments in the manuscript. So this supports academic argument building by providing strong citation-backed evidence that enhances the manuscript credibility. Now this is one more good feature. As you can see, we are using consensus for argument building. Now this is the way that this is done. Consensus will answer yes or no with percentage of papers in favor or against the argument. Then summary and key findings with corresponding citations, and references also with full set of papers used in the analysis of this argument building. Let's see a sample research query answered. A typical query returns a summary, citation, and the strength of supporting evidence, enabling the rapid understanding of the topics. There are few do's and don'ts in this. The best practices is to verify the sources, read original studies, and avoid over-reliance on AI without the scholarly judgment. Sorry. Use this consensus tool as a support tool rather than a replacement for scholarly judgment, as I told you. Avoid over-relying on the AI outputs without reading and cross-checking from the original studies. So kindly remember these few do's and don'ts of this. Now, if we compare, consensus is a complement or a complementary help to elicit, where elicit helps with the discovery, abstraction, and summarization. Consensus provides precise, evidence-backed answers for specific research questions. If we use it together, they can create a complete workflow for strong literature reviews. So elicit and consensus complement each other. Elicit for discovery and abstraction. Consensus for evidence-backed validation. Moving on to the next part. Next part is the diagram which shows how consensus complements elicit. If you can see here, I have taken it from some site which compares and complements consensus with elicit. Now this slide visually contrasts consensus and elicit. Elicit supports discovery and abstraction across many papers, while consensus validates specific claims with evidence-backed answers. Together, they form a complete literature review workflow. Moving on to the next part is for literature reviews. Here we are introducing a practical step-by-step pipeline for literature reviews, moving from research question formulation to structured synthesis. RQ, as I already told you, stands for research question. A well-defined research question drives an effective search strategy. Planning keywords and synonyms ensures comprehensive and systematic coverage across database and AI tools. 3 words we need to remember: extract, compare, and summarize. Here the insights are extracted from multiple papers, which are now compared side by side and then summarized into themes. This process converts the scattered studies into coherent conclusions. Now after this, how to create a review table. Now review table we have made a few times in our literature reviews as well. Now this slide emphasizes review tables. Organizing year, author, method and findings will simplify the comparisons and reveals the patterns across the literature. Now here, how to identify the gaps logically. Gaps generally emerge from missing themes, unexplored methods, or contradictory results. Now, logical gap identification strengthens research justification and clarifies the novelty. We can also write a review paragraph. This slide shows how extracted insights are woven into a coherent academic paragraph, forming the core of literature review writing for theses and papers. Now this is a flowchart of where we can use this practical literature pipeline. Now the flowchart summarizes the practical literature pipeline starting from the research question, moving through search, extraction, comparison and final summarization. Next, a very beautiful tool which is known as Kite.ai. It is used for citation insights. Now what is Cite AI? This is a tool which is focused on understanding how papers are cited, not just how often they are cited. So this will bring a citation context into the research evaluation. Little bit introduction to Cite. Now Cite analyzes citation context to show whether citations support, contrast or merely mention a study, helping assess the research reliability. It provides the context by displaying the exact sentence where one paper is citing another paper. The researchers, they use it to evaluate the reliability of the paper and influence of the literature. So once again, it analyzes how papers are cited, not just how often they are cited. So another very helpful tool, this is a small diagram where we can visually see how two papers are compared and how two papers are being shown here. Now this continuation reinforces how Cite displays the exact sentence where one paper cites another, improving the transparency and interpretation. Now how does it supports the citations? Supporting citations indicate agreement with studies findings. A higher number of supporting citations strengthens the paper's credibility and reliability. Now there can be contrasting citations. The citations, the contrasting citations are the highlighting disagreement or criticism citations. These are crucial for understanding scientific debates and assessing the robustness of the research. Mention citations. These citations are neutral acknowledgements. Cite distinguishes these from the meaningful support or critique, avoiding misleading citation counts. This can be one example, as Cite is a bit daunting in the beginning. So this slide can provide an example to study and illustrate how citation types, supporting, contrasting, and mentioning appear in practice. Right? So next one is why this is actually, this matters actually. So citation context prevents misinterpretation based solely on citation numbers and reveals a paper's true scholarly impact. Now there are some citation quality indicators which cite will show. Cite will present ratios of supporting, contrasting and mentioning citations, enabling the researchers to judge evidence strength more accurately. Now there are some weak citations as well, as you can see in the diagram as well. Cite will show these papers which are dominated by neutral or contrasting citations, and it may indicate weak or disputed findings which will help the researchers to avoid unreliable evidence. Seminal papers. The seminal papers, they generally have a very high number of supportive and influential citations. Cite will help identifying the key foundational works in any research domain. So these papers typically show strong supportive citation patterns. Cite helps identify foundational studies essential for theory building. Now citation mapping. Very interesting concept. The citation maps visualize how papers reference each other over time, helping to trace the idea evolution and identify influential research clusters. Moving on to the next part, I said concept evolution over time. Now what does this mean? So this slide shows how cite timelines reveal how support for a concept changes over decades, helping the researchers understand when ideas emerged and how evidence was evolved and shifted. Now there are clusters in this. The author clusters highlight group of researchers who frequently cite or collaborate, revealing the research communities and leading contributors within a field. There are also topic clusters, as the example is showing. I took the example of Disney World Planning, so these are the various topic clusters in this. The topic clusters are nothing but the papers which are grouped by thematic similarity, supporting theme-based synthesis in literature reviews. Now you can also use cite for your related work. Now cite highlights identify influential and frequently supported studies that should appear in a strong related work section. Now you can also use cite for theory building. Cite supports theory building by validating constructs with supporting citations and highlighting where theories actually need some refinement. This another one more diagram which you can also try. This is Cite Assistant. By this you can make the part for theory building. This emphasizes how contrasting citations guide theory modification and strengthen the conceptual frameworks. One big challenge is retractions. So cite can be very helpful in this. It flags retracted or problematic papers, preventing accidental use of invalid research. Now you can also build the arguments with citations, just like in the case of elicit and consensus. Here also we can build some arguments with citations. Researchers like us can use supporting citations to justify claims and contrasting citations to acknowledge limitations which will enable balanced academic arguments. Now I will show a one step-by-step demo flow, how this is actually look like. This outlines a practical site overflow, starting with a search, then reviewing the citation context, and then exporting the insights for literature review. If you can see, this is the demo flow of site. So enter a research topic here, then relevant papers, and then explore the citations. So this reinforces the demo sequence, and now insights are integrated into review sections. Another few do's and don'ts on this. Now this summarizes best practices. Verify citation context always. Avoid relying only on citation counts, and combine cite with other tools like Elicit, which we have already seen in the previous slide, previous slides. Now here just a gist of what cite is all about. Cite actually enhances the literature reviews by revealing true citation meaning and improving evidence quality through context-rich analysis. Moving on to a very nice and feature-filled tool, which is known as Zotero. So Zotero is, I think many few people might be knowing what Zotero is. This is a reference manager, but it uses AI very heavily for managing the references and adding intelligent assistance to literature workflow. So what is Zotero? Zotero is a free reference management tool that stores, organizes, and cites sources, supporting consistent academic formatting. So how do you install this? You can download this for Windows, Mac OS or Linux. I'm using Linux OS, so I'm using Zotero very heavily. You can directly download from their official website, and it takes only a few minutes depending on the computer configuration. Installation also includes a browser connector, just like we use ChatGPT, Perplexity, and other Gemini and other tools. They have this browser connector so that other services can also be connected with the AI platform. So this also connects and gives few connectors which can be used for quick reference capture, so that you don't have to install it separately. Only one-click addition of sources can be done through your web browsing when you are searching for the papers. The setup process is very simple, and it quickly gives you immediate use for research tasks, even for users who are not very technical savvy. So very easy to do, and even for the non-technical users, it's very easy and very usable. So the first part of installing Zotero is like this. Go to zotero.org, just run the installer, then install some browser characters, and then open the Zotero, sign in and make an account and start working. So what it actually does is, now we will see what Zotero is actually all about. So here it creates the collections. Now collections is just, we are familiar with folders in Windows and directories in Linux. So just like we do in our operating systems, Zotero also makes folders which they call collections. It's used for organizing the references by chapter, by theme, by research question, supporting a very structured and a very organized academic writing. Now you can also add the references automatically. You can use Google Scholar, you can use various journals and databases, which can reduce the manual effort dramatically. PDFs and metadata is automatically captured and stored in the library from databases, reducing manual efforts and errors. This is the way you can do this. Very wonderful diagram on this. We are using a browser connector from Zotero. If you can see my mouse cursor, just just click on any web page or database if you have installed the connector. Then use this. You can use identifiers like ISBN, DOI, or PMID, or any other identifiers to auto-fetch the complete citation of this. Or you can use various extensions like RIS, BibTeX, EndNote. BibTeX is also supported by Google Scholar. So if you want to export all your articles, you just have to click select all and then export, and export as a BibTeX. It's just like a text file. You can also edit it if you are not properly entered the author's name or maybe the research items. You can edit it and you can start using it. So BibTeX is supported. So RIS. Request you to continue, please.
Video, video.
I would really request you.
Farida ma'am, please click your.
Hello. Eddie, I am there. Download it. But then I need to go in to I will then end the morning or a big program.
Please
online on I take it.
Please handle.
Can the two carry the no, because I didn't say I know it's sort of like
Sorry for the interruption. Actually, I can't remove. I can't Farida ma'am. Hello, Farida ma'am. Hello. Hello, Farida ma'am. Farida Rasan ma'am. Your mic is on, ma'am. Please mute her or remove Okay, sir. Please continue.
All right, so we were adding the references, and a small break was there, so everybody might be refreshed in this. Anyways, so here we were adding the references automatically, how we can capture the articles and PDFs automatically from the databases, and it will give, if the identifiers are working properly, it will so complete citation details will be added in the Zotero software. Now next one is, sometimes when you import the references, they contain some incomplete or incorrect data, which can lead to citation errors in your later stage of research. Now Zotero gives this feature to edit the titles, the authors, or whatever the incomplete or incorrect data is there, giving the researchers the full control over the accuracy. Now, the data should be accurate, the citation should be accurate. It ensures that accurate titles, authors, and publication details, which is critical for correct citations and high quality academic writing. Now, there is also a very good feature which is known as tagging and organizing in Zotero. Now, what does this do? Now, tags is, they help classify anything. So, here we are talking about the research papers. So, you can tag the papers by the keywords, by themes, by methodology, by DOIs, or any other tag that you want to use. This creates a searchable structure which makes the libraries easy to navigate during review writing. So, like for example, I've created a lot of tags in my Zotero software, like cyber security related, or maybe firewall related, or network related, and things like that. Now, in the next slide, we are talking about how AI can be helped to write and give the literature review. Here, we will introduce AI plugins for Zotero. And now, which can add summarization, insights, and automated notes, which will make Zotero more automated, more efficient, and also save some time for us. If you can see in the next diagram, there are so many AI plugins. I have taken few which I generally use. So you can use a GPT plugin where it can connect to ChatGPT or Claude. Claude, if you're not aware, it's a LLM model. You can use these to summarize the papers and extract the insights. There is also a cite plugin, which we have already talked about what cite is. So you can get smart citation, which papers can support, which papers can mention or contrast your work. You can make and automatically generate summaries and notes within your library. And you can also chat with your PDFs to extract various informations. So this is how Zotero AI is very helpful in organizing and storing the references. One more great feature of this is auto summaries. So here we can see auto summaries generated by Zotero AI plugins. These concise summaries highlight key findings, methods, and contributions for faster comparison. You can get review notes also. AI can generate structured review notes such as themes, gaps, limitations, which will support deeper analytical writing when you do this kind of analysis. It can also check AI citation checks. It can verify whether the citations accurately reflect the content of the papers, helping avoid false claims and reference errors. It can integrate with MS Word, Microsoft Word, to enable instant text citations and automatically generating the bibliography. If you can see the diagram, it's like this. Integrating with MS Word, there is a small plugin here. Just click on Add Edit Citation from the Zotero bar, then search for a paper by title, author, etc. and select the paper. So you can also add a new citation with the Zotero add-in plugin for MS Word. LaTeX is a very primary tool to write the paper and in a particular format. So Zotero also supports LaTeX users by exporting BibTeX files, which I already talked about few slides back, which allows seamless citation management in technical and scientific documentation. Workflow for PhD researchers. It gives you a practical Zotero workflow for PhD scholars and faculty, from importing papers to extracting the insights for writing. They can import the papers, clean metadata, add tags, generate AI summaries. Then they can extract the insights, organize collections aligned with research questions, which we have seen in the previous slides. And this workflow will streamline the reading, synthesis, and manuscript preparation in reducing overall research time to a great extent. So wonderful workflow for the people who are doing PhDs or the faculty who are working on a particular domain. Now some best practices, few, not really the do and don'ts types, but yes, we should always keep the metadata clean. We should always use tags whenever you are using Zotero. And a backup of the Zotero library is very, very crucial and essential. Collections should be consistent. So these are the few best practices. You can also see in this next diagram where Zotero produces structured references, summaries, and citation-ready entries that can be directly inserted into manuscripts. These kinds of notes, which we have talked about, AI-generated notes that can be directly used in manuscripts. So this was the example. Sorry, this is the diagram I was. So this is the diagram which you can see where a mock-up of Zotero has been taken. So many features it has. It has generated notes, it has generated highlights, it has some draft also. So faster and more rigorous literature reviews and research papers can be done through Zotero. A very useful, beneficial and wonderful tool. And on top of that, it's free also. So now moving on to everybody's favorite topic these days, ChatGPT. So now this slide will introduce ChatGPT Code Interpreter as a tool which enables data analysis using natural language rather than traditional coding. Now you might have seen the code interpreter part in ChatGPT. It's an advanced feature which allows users to analyze the data using NLP and natural language commands, making data analysis accessible to everyone. So it executes the Python code in the background to perform calculations, visualization, and statistical analysis with high accuracy. Researchers can upload CSV or Excel files directly so that the need for external tools or pre-processing or structuring is not actually required. You just directly upload the file. The tool will automatically read, pre-process and prepares it for analysis, identifying the rows, columns and variable types which we might few of us, or many of us, might have used this tool very extensively by loading these kinds of files as well. So manual data loading, it gets eliminated, particularly when we are using RStudio. So RStudio is also used in our institution as well. SPSS is used mostly in management colleges, but RStudio is generally used in. So we also use RStudio. So here, if we are using external software, then we have to write, then we have to pre-process it, then you have to prepare it. So all this can be eliminated through ChatGPT code interpreter feature. So next is this is the part where everybody is aware how to do this. Just type, click the plus button, add files, and then upload the CSV or the Excel part. Now, how to view this? This is a good one. The data structure helps researchers understand the size, variables, and data type before selecting analysis techniques. Like, for example, descriptive statistics like mean, median, standard deviation for quick insights, missing value analysis. It identifies missing or null values and patterns supporting informed decisions on data cleaning and imputations. So this is one diagram or one picture with visually you can see what is the step 1, where it detects missing value, counts and percentages. Step 2, it will visualize the missingness, heat map, bar chart if you want to make it. It can also decide the strategy, whether to drop this, impute this, or flag this. So another very important and a very beneficial feature in ChatGPT code interpreter. So it can also gives correlation heat maps, which visualize, summarize relationships among variables, helping identify strong positive or negative associations. It can also gives you histogram, which can show the frequency distributions of numerical variables, revealing the spread, skewness, and potential non-normality in the data. Histograms look like this: shape, bills, outliers. Create a histogram of age. Okay, here's the histogram for age distribution. Now it has made a beautiful histogram where on one axis it's frequency, another axis is value, and it has made a beautiful picture of this, which you can also see on your screens. So next is box plots. Now this is a very interesting one. It can summarize the distributions using quartiles and medians, clearly highlighting the variability and outliers within the data set. Now if you can see here, this is like the input was makes a box plot of exam scores by group. So there are 3 groups, A, B, C, and now it has shown the IQR, the outliers, the median, and these are the box plots which generally show. So another visual enhancement for seeing whether the data is on the data set, the various things which we want to see in the data sets. So another good one is scatter plots. So you might have heard about these plots. So scatter plots are nothing but visualizing the relationships between 2 variables, helping detecting the trends, clusters, and linear or non-linear patterns. If you can see this diagram, a beautiful diagram which shows a scatter plot. This is generally used in machine learning. So when I was talking teaching machine learning some semesters back, I was using a tool, a very useful tool known as Veka. You might have heard of this. Veka, a very good tool developed by a student few years back, University of New Zealand, Waiko. So along with a few people, he developed a tool which is known as Veka, and if you use that Veka tool, you will see these scatter plots a lot. So in machine learning, so generally we use these kinds of scatter plots. Like KNN or CNN diagrams and algorithms, they show these kinds of scatter plots a lot. So now how to interpret these plots? If you go about doing this interpretation manually, it will take a lot of time and maybe there will be anomalies as well. But interpretation through ChatGPT code interpreter, it translates the visual patterns into statistical meanings, turning charts into actionable academic insights. So a little bit advanced analysis through this ChatGPT code interpreter, from basic exploration to advanced analytical techniques supported by this interpreter. So let's see what are these. So one is regression analysis. It examines the relationship between dependent and independent variables with attention to assumptions like linearity or normality. Another one is linear regression. It demonstrates fitting a linear regression model and interpreting coefficients, significance, and goodness of fit. So, a diagram of this, a linear regression example, fit a linear regression into hours of study between the exam score. So, what here they have done is they have the model predicts exam score based on the hours you study. So here's the visualization. So one axis is on hour study up to 20. Another one is the exam score up to 100. So these are the best fit line it will show you. Good one. So now next is the classification model. So classification, as the word suggests, is used for categorical outcomes. The tool demonstrates models like logistic regression or decision trees with clear explanations. One classification example you can see here, the beautiful confusion matrix, and it's saying that train this classification model to predict pass-fail from the studies and the attendance. So what we are giving here is, we are giving it the hour study and the attendance. So it should predict whether you will pass or you will fail. So pass is denoted by blue and the fail part is denoted by orange. So as you can study, as you can see, a very nice and colorful example. And the accuracy is around 86% or 0.86. So now K means another very nice clustering way. K means clustering groups. They groups the data based on similarity, uncovering the hidden structures without predefined labels. I'm not going into very detail of this as the time is less. So now PCA is principal component analysis. It reduces the dimensionality while preserving the variance, aiding visualization and improving model performance. Another one is time series handling. This is used a lot. Now it has been used quite some time now. Now time series analysis, it focuses on the trends, seasonality and temporal dependencies. Next is forecasting, another good one. I was also using this. I was teaching economics for engineers this semester. So here we were using a lot of forecasting techniques also. So the tool here demonstrates the forecasting future values from historical data. So we just provide them the historical data and they give and forecast the future values, including the confidence intervals for uncertainty. So you can see here another forecasting. So it's saying the input is forecast next 12 months of sales from the data of monthly sales data. So here we have given on the one axis we have given the years and on the other years, other axis we have given the sales. So it's forecasting what can be done or in 3 years, what will happen from January to 2021 to December to 24. So simulations, a very good method of research techniques which can test hypothetical or uncertain scenarios. Code interpreter runs repeated experiment using statistical and probabilistic models supporting the risk and sensitivity analysis as well. Now, model evaluation can also be done by this tool. It can use accuracy models, it can use RMSE models, it can use precision models, it can use recall models, it can give you the F1 score to compare the models and ensure analytical rigor as well. Now, error fixing can also be done with this AI tool. This code interpreter explains how AI helps detect logical, syntactical or methodological errors in analysis and automatically suggests corrections as well. If we have used a tool known as Google Colab, there it suggests if there is an error in the code, it will suggest fixes through AI. In the same way, ChatGPT code interpreter also gives you suggestions and it tries to fix the errors. If it's not able to fix the errors, it will give you the help automatically on how to go on about it and do it manually. It also helps in the research reporting part. It's a very useful tool where you can convert the output into academic language. So this interpreter, it marks the transition from analysis to reporting, focusing on how analytical reports are converted into publishable academic content. Numerical and statistics outputs are translated into formal academic language, which are suitable for thesis and journal papers. Now, automatic tables can be also generated from this. Code interpreter can generate well-structured publication-ready tables directly from the results. You can use various reporting style like APA or IEEE or Harvard or MLA and tools like that. So this can also be supported by AI. It will format the results according to the APA or IEEE standards, ensuring the consistency and the compliance asked by the particular journal or the research. Now, this chart can be also used and they can be used as high standard quality materials for publication, and it will support the publication with these kinds of high quality charts. So this will be refined by improving the labels, accesses, legends and resolution to meet the publication standards. If you can see these kinds of chart, like they have made such a beautiful chart out of this plot. Refined with AI, they have given edit titles and labels, adjust colors and fonts, increase resolution, export to PNG or SVG. These are the various graphic formats in which the journals or the research papers they ask to submit the charts to. You can also write a particular methodology from the code, how analytical steps are converted into clear, reproducible methodology descriptions for academic writing. Writing result sections, another big task, is also handled by AI. It assists in summarizing the key findings objectively, focusing strictly on results without interpretation. Another writing discussion, a very big task for me. So it is also held by AI. It's so much. AI helps correct results to research questions, theory and existing literature for scholarly discussion. If you can see the diagram here, it shows the writing discussion part. So it will summarize the key findings, interpret the results, compare with literature, implications and limitations, and it will go on and help you to draft the discussion session nicely. You can make multiple versions of the analysis. if you are not satisfied with one result, you can rerun the analysis with different assumptions to support the robustness and sensitivity checks as well. Reproducibility, a very big feature, a big help for me. Sometimes I just put up the documents and I forgot where I have started and I get lost in this. So these steps can all be documented and they are repeatable. Researchers, they can share the workflows, code and data sets, and these all supports open science and reproducible research practices. A final report, the final output can also be made better and efficient by combining the analysis, tables, visuals, and narrative text. In the next slide, you will see one example of how the final report example looks like. So instead of a somewhat boring text-only version, it will look like a more visual enhanced report, which will give you more insights, more results, and more. It's pretty to look at in some, this gives a more better effect on the reviewers as well. So now a very good tool which is known as the DeepSeek. We are almost coming to the end of this, but let's discuss few tools before leaving for the session. So DeepSeek is a LLM model, which are reasoning models such as O1 and DeepSeek R1, which are designed to support deep analytical and logical reasoning in research. Now, what are reasoning models? So, reasoning models, they help and evaluate arguments, assumptions, and logical flow, making them valuable for theory building and hypothesis testing. Now, what is the role of reasoning models? If you can see in this diagram, user gives this, and this is all happening. So here, reasoning models are supporting the structured scholarly thinking rather than the surface level text generation. So now next is the hypothesis generation. Now how can this be done by reasoning models? They assist in generating the research hypothesis by analyzing patterns, gaps, and unresolved questions in existing literature. Here, the reasoning models, they help connect the concepts and variables into a coherent theoretical framework which are aligned with research objectives. Conceptual models, this slide actually focuses on designing the conceptual models that clearly represent relationships among independent, dependent, and meditating and moderating variables. So, little bit technical on this. So, argument structuring, what they are actually, the models help organize arguments in a logical sequence instead of just giving the arguments. It presents the sequence properly. They ensure that the claims are supported by the evidence and linked coherently to each other. The overall flow and the academic strength of the research writing is improved a lot by this structure. Now this slide highlights how reasoning models will evaluate whether conclusions logically flow from premises and evidence. If you can see in the diagram, these are the logic chains which are being evaluated by the deep reasoning models. This continuation emphasizes the identifying gaps, weak transitions, or unsupported claims to strengthen academic arguments. Now we can also fix, there are some inconsistencies across objectives, methods and conclusions which improve the internal coherence. We can also strengthen the contributions of the research. AI can help clearly, it can help articulate the research novelty and contribution which is critical for a high impact journals. Now, one example of DeepSeek flow. There is a structured reasoning workflow using DeepSeek R1, flowing step-by-step processing of arguments and counter-arguments. If you can see this is one flow example where it will start from the research question, clarifying the concepts, generating the hypothesis, then plan analysis steps, evaluate the evidence, and then refine the conclusion. So it goes from one section to another section, one after the other, so that the structured reasoning should support the rigorous academic thinking. The limitation sections is also enhanced by this model. These types of models, they help identify and present methodological and conceptual limitations very objectively. The AI assist in deriving future research directions based on findings and unresolved issues. These models also ensure that the rigor is maintained by avoiding overgeneralization and ensuring evidence-based reasoning. Hallucination detection, another beautiful feature of these models. This highlights identifying unsupported or fabricated claims in AI-generated content to ensure responsible research, which is very important in these trending times of AI. Now, there is a checklist which guides us to and when and how to use reasoning models responsibly, including the validation and ethical checks. If you can see in this diagram, it demonstrates a well-reasoned research argument generated with AI assistance. There is a clarity, there is a logical flow, and it is evidence-based. They enhance, not replace, the judgment of the humans. So, now there is an end-to-end workflow of this, how the integrated view of the complete research lifecycle supported by multiple AI tools. Now we have seen few tools which we can use. In the end, we will just see how literature review, data analysis, reasoning, and writing is shown as a single continuous AI-supported workflow. So this is the combined workflow overview which can be done by AI tools. You can identify the problem, then you can do a literature review with Zotero and AI, then you can collect the data, clean the data, then you can do an analysis with ChatGPT code interpreter, then you can reason and interpret the data with O1 or DeepSeek R1, then finally you will write and publish you are done with a beautiful, nice, highly cited research paper using these wonderful tools. So this is the combined workflow overview that every researcher can or should use, in my opinion. Next is the literature pipeline. This process starts with research questions to systematic extraction and synthesis. If you can see the diagram here, the AI-assisted research questions will be there, then smart academic search, then extract and compare the studies which are connected to these kinds of searches, and then synthesize the evidence into insights. For these, there are so many tools available. Many of the tools I have also discussed today. They are fast, they are very transparent, and they all are evidence-driven literature review tools. Now, how to do a data analysis through AI? This explains the structured progression from data import to modeling and visualization using AI support. So this is a pipeline. If you can see the visual here, AI will help in choosing the methods, run the analysis, and explaining result. So just export a data from CSV or Excel or any database. It will do the exploration and cleaning. It will give you the methods, the models, and the inference, and after that, it will give you the visualization and interpretation which you can easily use in your research papers and make your research papers more coherent, more stable, more robust, more credible, and more reliable as well. Coming to the end of our session also, let's see an argument building pipeline. Now, sometimes we maybe replying to a review comment or maybe in some other situations, we need to transform our evidence and results into logical structured academic arguments. So this is the pipeline that we generally use. Here, the reasoning models, they strengthen our clarity, the consistency, and the scholarly coherence. We identify the core themes, we align it with theory, we reason it through implications, and the coherent academic argument is presented with suitable research evidence, verifiable research evidence and findings. So this is the pipeline that we can use for presenting our arguments. Now, if we want to draft or convert the analytical outputs into formal academic writing, then for drafting, we can see this kind of pipeline where this writing is clear, this is consistent, and it's aligned with academic and publication standards. Now, starting from the analytical outputs and arguments, it will suggest you through the help of AI tools, the methodology, the results, the discussion, the conclusions, and your paper is ready and your draft is ready for the journal. So according to the journal requirements, you can use these kinds of AI tools as well. So coming to the end of the session, these are the final takeaways and closing remarks. So AI has emerged as a powerful research companion. There is no doubt about this. AI is a research companion which enhances efficiency and rigor without replacing human judgment. Now here I will emphasize that it's not here to replace the human judgment. It's here to enhance our efficiency. It's not here to replace our academic integrity. It's here to enhance our rigor, our clarity, our data analysis skills, our reasoning skills, our scholarly writing skills, our literature review skills, but not to replace them. So I would encourage all the participants to adopt AI very thoughtfully. We have discussed few do's and don'ts also, and ethically as well, to strengthen the research quality, productivity, and long-term impact of their paper or the research items. In the end, just wrapping up, if you have any follow-up questions, anything which you want to discuss, any critique, anything which please don't hesitate to reach out. This is my contact details. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I am an open networker, so I don't refuse any connections. So if you want, you can connect with me. If you want, you can email me on this. And once again, I am Mohit Tiwari, and I have over 25 years of experience in software development, networking, and infrastructure management. My favorite tools are all open source tools, so I really like to be on Linux-based OSs. I take frequent summer trainings as well, and currently I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Delhi. So if you want to connect and discuss about or take this further, I am all ears and open to all kinds of discussion which you want to pursue further. So, in the end, I would like to thank you all for your time and your attention. This was long, but I hope this session helped you adopt thoughtfully and ethically in your research work. And once again, a big thank you. And with this, I would like to have some, if you want to ask anything, I will try and answer with best of my capability. If
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for today's session.
Thank you, sir.
all right, thank you so much. And with this, I would like to, so I can end the session. So I'll stop sharing.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, I think no one have any more doubts, sir. So thank you for everyone who are participated in this 6 days FDP on foundation model and LLMS. First of all, I would like to request every participant, please kindly fill the attendance for that we have dropped in the chat box. And thank you so much, Mohit sir, for this wonderful session, sir. Me as a person, I feel so blessed to have your session, sir. And मैं यही उम्मीद रखूंगी सर कि आप आगे भी हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे. And thank you so much, everyone. This session is ended now. Please continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mohit sir. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful session.
Thank you so much. Just remember three things from today. First, AI is not here to replace research thinking. It is here to remove the mechanical friction. Second is literature reviews and data analysis can be made faster there. Third, academic rigor, originality and ethical responsibility is always remain with the researcher, not the tool. So these three principles will always keep you work strong. And with this, thank you once again. And I wish you all of you the very best in your research and teaching. Have a very good evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Please kindly do not forget to place your attendance, please. As in a humble request. I hope that we connect tomorrow in the same time. Thank you.
وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم وما لا يأتيهم من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا اتقوا الله كفروا للذين آمنوا الطريق يشاء الله عنه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين أفينكم إلا صيحة واحدة فتكفرون مسلمون ولا يستطيعون توصيتهم ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون أبصر بينهم للجنان إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعدنا من قليلا هذا وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة بينهم الذين مضطرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون يوم وأزواجه في الغنى الله المتقين فيها فاكهة ولهم فإنهم سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتاز اليوم يا بني آدم لا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه ويعبدون بما صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون إنه الذي مثلهم اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون وعلى أهوالهم ويكذبون بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فلما يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانهم فما استقاموا يهديهم ولا يهديهم ومن يضل اسمه في القلب فلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له من غير القرآن من كان يوم يحلف القوم على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم وذللناها لهم منها رزقهم ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب وأفلا يهتدون فقد في طور الله آية لعلهم ينصرون يعلمون نصرهم وهم لهم جنود ما يبصرون وما يعلمون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من بني وإذا هو بصير والله لم يهدهم ونسي خلقه قال إني العظام والنيران الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثله وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون سبحانه بيده الملك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبارك الذي
പക്ഷെ ഇപ്പോഴാണ് പോയിട്ടുള്ളത് ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ സൗണ്ട് ഉണ്ടാവും അതിൻ്റെ ആ